Recording is going, and I will pull up the agenda real fast. Everyone can see the screen, right? Okay. All right. Trying to get myself situated here. All right, give me one moment. Alrighty. I call this meeting to order at 5:33 p.m. and I recognize that Acha is here, Aaliyah is here, Joshua is here, Liam is here, Pooja is here, Rahman is here, Siri is here, as well as Victor, as well as ex officio members Candace, Courtney, and Rashad, and Colin with crew. So, everyone, and Rebecca with crew. Sorry about that. Everyone's had a chance to look over the agenda, correct? All right. So is there a motion to approve the agenda for September 22nd?
I move to approve the agenda for September 22nd.
Is there a second? Thank you. Are there any objections? I'm not seeing or hearing any objections, so by general consent, the agenda for September 22nd has been approved. Now we can take a look at the minutes. Just going to scroll through again. All right, and those are all the minutes for September 15th meeting. So if there is a motion to approve the minutes.
I move to approve the minutes for September 15th.
I second.
Yeah, Pooja seconds in the chat as well. So are there any objections? I see or hear no objections, so by general consent, the meeting minutes from September 15th have been approved. And now we can move on to the Sahas request that has been submitted by crew. So I invite Colin or Rebecca to introduce their request to us and explain a little bit more about it. So.
Hello, can you see and hear me?
Yep.
Excellent. Okay, so this event that we've requested is titled If God, Why Coronavirus? And it's a very contemporary and applicable take on the question of evil, which is basically if God is all good, all knowing, and cares and loves for everyone, why does evil exist? And why does the coronavirus exist? Essentially, we're just requesting a contract fee for our speaker, about $500. This event was originally approved for in-person, so we've just requested it again for an online format.
Right.
Are there any general questions or concerns?
Candace?
Do we have to move into, are we in discussion? What are we in?
He just introduced the application. We can move into a period of questioning right now.
Yeah, let's do that.
All right, I move to enter a period of questioning on FBBR-136.
Second.
Are there any objections? I hear see no objections, so by general consent, we are entering a period of questioning on FBBR-136. So if anyone has any questions, please let me know in the chat. Candace?
Great. Hi, Colin. My name is Candace Martinez Doan. I'm the Assistant Director for Leadership and Governance. I'm the SGA advisor. So I know that it asks this in the application, but I'd be interested for you to share a little bit more about like how you're going to go about advertising this to people, and making it opening, welcoming, and affirming to people who either are agnostic or atheist or maybe aren't of the um, Christian belief set, so that it is an opening and welcoming event for everyone.
Sure, absolutely. That's an excellent question. So obviously we will advertise within our own group frameworks, but we're also going to be, or actually we already have it on my UMBC. We've used a couple of our kind of like big advertisements on my UMBC. And for general outreach, I'm pretty sure we're going to be using it through social media as well to try and grab whoever is interested. And as far as making sure everyone feels welcomed, this event by no means is supposed to convict or really attack anyone. We just really want to kind of present some of the thoughts that are that we've invited our speaker to share, who is very, very good with working with college students and acknowledges everyone's coming from different walks of life. And my favorite part about this event is at the end, there's going to be a Q&A. So if there are individuals who are agnostic, individuals who are atheist, or even individuals from other religions, any questions are invited, and they certainly won't be persecuted or thought less of for any questions they might have. Does that answer your question?
Yes, thank you.
Absolutely.
Joshua?
Hi, Colin. My name is Joshua Gray, the Vice President for Student Organizations. I use he, him pronouns. Nice to see you again.
Nice to see you again.
I just had two things. So I wanted to first ask you if you could share more about your speaker and who that person is. But then my second question is relatively trivial, but what platform are you going to be using for this event?
I believe as far as the platform goes, we would be using WebEx or Zoom. I'm guessing it would be Zoom, but I'm not certain. As far as our speaker, his name is Jonathan Moynihan. Becky, please correct me on any of this because I might not be perfectly accurate. But he is a local youth pastor at, I believe, Mosaic Church, and he's spoken at Crew before, and he does an excellent job fielding questions from college students in various walks of life. So he knows how to interact with college age students very well.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Are there any other questions for crew at this time? Would we like to move out of a period of questioning and move into a period of discussion?
Sorry, I have one question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Colin, hi, my name is Siri. I'm the treasurer. I wanted to know, like, not necessarily why you wanted to put on this event, but why do you think this event will be beneficial to people?
I think it would be beneficial because many students, myself included, are very confused about why coronavirus is happening. And I think a lot of people are probably really hurt and confused. Or maybe not hurt as so much as like just depressed. And I think this gives students the opportunity to just see it from a different perspective. Because we, along with like explaining this within the scope of how God can exist and why this would happen, we also want to explain a little bit of like what are the good things that have come out of it, and like how can we continue to be our best selves as we live in this new world almost, just a completely foreign environment from what we're used to.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, of course.
Any other questions? Okay, Joshua. I'll do that real fast. But yeah, any more questions for crew?
Yes, I had another question. Sorry,
Yeah,
guys.
go ahead.
That this event is like a pretty steep price, I'll say. Do you like know how many other events you plan on having this semester, and will they be around like the same pricing?
At most, we would plan on having one other big conference like this, for the general UMBC population. If we did, I imagine we would request about the same, but as far as I know, one would be the most we would request again.
Okay, thank you.
Mhm.
All right. One more time. Is there any more questions for crew? I'm not seeing or hearing any more questions, so if someone would like to move to end this period of questioning, you're free to do so.
I move to end this period of questioning.
Second.
Are there any objections? I'm not seeing or hearing any objections, so by general consent, this period of questioning on FBBR-136 is ended. Now we can move on to a period of discussion, so if anyone would like to make that motion.
I move to enter into a period of discussion.
Second.
Are there any objections? I see or hear no objections, so by general consent, we are entering a period of discussion on FBBR-136. During this time, it'll be for the finance board representatives to ping some thoughts onto each other. So unfortunately, Colin and Rebecca, you may not be able to participate in this discussion. But that being said, are there any discussion points, thoughts, comments, concerns the board representatives would like to discuss? Acha?
I recommend fully funding the event, just because they stated it was previously approved in like an in-person format, and they were still prepared to have the events despite like having to move to a virtual format. And yeah, I think it would also be a nice event in general. And
Pooja?
Yeah, I think I agree with Aja, and we should fully fund it. And what I really liked about this event is that it's open to anybody and everybody, irrespective of their background. So, yeah, it's a good event to have.
Sorry, I have a question for Pooja. Not trying to
Yeah.
put you on the spot, but going back to our mock trial voting, did you abstain that vote or vote no?
Yeah. No, I did.
You voted no?
Yeah.
I was wondering why you wanted to. I hope it's not like too invasive. I'm just trying to see the thought process. Why you wanted to fund this one but vote no for that one? I thought it was like a pricing concern for you.
Yes. No, I'm glad that you asked. Yes, it was a pricing concern to me for so they submitted three requests, and for one of them I said no because I thought their fees was a little high for us to fund. But for this one, I don't think that's an issue. Because we don't really have had we haven't had many requests like this where we're funding seminars, or we haven't had any requests where we're funding any contracts. And what's really attracting about this application from my point of view is the concept of it. I've always been a religious advocate, so I personally think it's beneficial to a lot of people. And I think the way what Colin mentioned was that it's something that might help people who are depressed or who are unable to find a way out of the situation. And I think that's why it's important that we, as a UMBC community, host events like this. And as a SGA finance board, I think it's good for us to fund it. I hope that answered your question.
It does, and I respect your opinion. Thank you.
Aaliyah?
Yeah, I just had a question, I guess, for the general board. I know earlier, like in the summer, one of the summer meetings, we talked about how WebEx was we had a contract with them. So I was wondering, would crew have to do their meeting or their event on WebEx because of our contract? Or yeah, so that was my question. If anybody has an answer.
Candace?
Yeah, I would say that's probably the safest thing to recommend to crew. Since it is and that could be a stipulation that you attach to the funding, is that they have to do it using WebEx, because it is a secure platform, and it integrates with single sign-on for UMBC. Not that you can't have, and that, this is a UMBC event, so you're funding it for UMBC students. So that could be a stipulation to the funding.
Are there any other thoughts, questions, concerns, discussion points? Yeah, would we like to stipulate using WebEx for our virtual format? Quick yes or no in the chat is fine. Joshua, do you mind explaining why you say no?
I was actually going to tell me. I think that, like, yes, from the logic of the partnership that we have with WebEx, it makes sense, right? Because we want to make sure that we're protecting that partnership. And as Candace said, it is a quote unquote secure platform. I don't know too much about the different platforms, but I know that a lot of people have not had good experiences with WebEx. I know there's often concerns with bandwidth and not being able to see people's icons even when the camera is on because of bandwidth concerns, things of that nature. So I feel like if we limit the platform that they use, then that's also limiting the different opportunities that the student org has to host things, because there are certain features that another platform may have that WebEx doesn't necessarily have. Like the breakout room feature, as far as I'm concerned, is like a big one that people often want to use that, as to my knowledge, WebEx does not have. So that's the only reason I really said no. I think that that's like putting a lot of limitations on it, but everyone else said yes, so I'm also fine with that.
I think Acha brings up a good point in the chat.
Yes,
Instead of requiring, we could encourage.
I would agree with that too.
Okay. So I don't know. I was gonna do like a little straw poll, but if we don't need to do that, then we won't do it. So if everyone is comfortable with the language of encouraging the use of WebEx, Yeah. Okay. So with that, are there any other questions, comments, discussion points for FBR-136? I'm not seeing or hearing anything. Joshua?
Sorry, I waited a little too long there. I just wanted to say I appreciate the organization's like focus on the topical conversations that people are having. This isn't just like a random event, but it definitely ties into the current circumstances that we're all having to live under. I actually spoke with the org at Involvement Fest and spoke with Colin in particular, and they were excited about the event then and thought it was going to be a great opportunity to bring a lot of people to the table to hear about some situations surrounding the coronavirus. So I am excited to see this go through. I just plugged into my calendar, so I will be there. So yes, I think that this is something that we should be passing.
All right. Anyone else? I'm not seeing or hearing any more questions, concerns, comments, either in the chat or verbally. So if anyone would like to motion to end this period of discussion, you're free to.
I move to end this period of discussion on FBR 136.
Pooja seconds in the chat. Are there any objections? I see or hear no objections, so by general consent, we are ending this period of discussion on FBBR-136, and I'm going to pull up the legislation for it. This is FBL 04-2021, and if someone would like to approve this document for voting, you are also free to do so.
I would like to approve FBL 04-2021 for voting.
Aaliyah seconds in the chat. Are there any objections? I see or hear no objections, so by general consent, FBL-04-2021 has been approved for voting. Again, leave your responses in the chat, so all representatives for. All representatives against. All right. The results for this vote are 8-4, 0 opposed, 1 abstaining. Oh my gosh. We love Google Docs. 1 abstaining, 0 not present. And this passes this day, September 22nd, not 200, 2020. So congratulations, crew. I will send an email after this meeting about your confirmation and direct you towards SCBSC. But with that, you are free to leave this meeting, Colin and Rebecca, but congratulations again.
Thank you all so much. Have a good night.
Thank you, you too. Alrighty, y'all. So last week, David said he was going to come in this week with hopefully an update on reimbursements and the process for that, as well as the merchandise and marketing fee, but he is not here right now. So we can either go into a like 5-minute recess and I can try and reach out and see if he'll show up, or if you guys are comfortable, we could just end the meeting now. So I'm going to leave it up to you all.
End the meeting as in skip this discussion or end the entire meeting?
Or skip this discussion. That was my bad.
Would you be, sorry, I didn't ask.
You're fine. Go ahead, Candace.
So you would table this until you can get a confirmation from, again, from David as to whether or not he's coming again, I guess, next week.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, yeah. And then we also have Finance Board Liaison check-in, right, still?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, we could go into a 5-minute recess. I can try and get in contact, see if he'll come in, and then let you guys know. But you can just let me know in the chat. Okay. I have a couple people saying recess, so I amend the agenda to add a 5-minute period of recess after Sahas requests. That was a motion. I don't know if anyone's going to second.
Second.
Are there any objections? I see or hear no objections, so by general consent, the agenda is being amended to add a period of 5-minute recess after Sahas requests. And you all are free to go ahead and start talking, do whatever you need to during this 5 minutes. I'll try and reach out to David and see what he's gonna do. Well, the 5 minutes is over. We may as well table it for now and see if I can get a response while we're doing the finance board liaison check-in. But it was all very last minute, and that's my fault. So
So are we gonna do the check-in now? Or
yeah, we can move to table the discussion with David and on the merchandise and marketing fee until, I guess, indefinitely, or until we can find a time when he can come in. Because I don't know if that will be tonight or next week. So
you have to move to table that now.
yeah.
We don't have to, but someone, okay. I move to table the discussion with David Royer and the discussion on the merchandise and marketing fund indefinitely.
Okay, Pooja seconds in the chat. Are there any objections? I see or hear no objections, so by general consent, we are tabling the discussion with David Royer and the discussion on the merchandise and marketing fee indefinitely. And so we can move on to the finance board liaison check-in, and I'll share my screen again. Alrighty, so I'm just gonna pull this up. We can look through it. I know I sent out the template for the update on the merchandise and marketing fee stall on reviewing requests, and it looks like some of you have done that. So if you get the chance, just send that out. If you haven't sent it out, please do so, and please update on the tracker. If anyone has any updates.
You want us to update, like write down all our clubs that we liaison for and say that we email them?
Yeah. Aaliyah?
I thought the tracker was for when student orgs email us and not like when we email them.
Yeah, this was just a way for me to see if you guys did it.
Okay.
That's all. But yeah, I mean, you can let me know if you emailed in the chat. Yeah, Liam. Well, not office hours so much as if you end up meeting with someone through WebEx, that is one of the options on here. Email, in person, or phone text. So all right, that's fine. I had a question for, I guess, either the advisors or any other liaisons. But I was reached out to by one of my clubs, and they wanted to schedule a meeting, the Nepali Student Association. I followed up with them because they didn't show up to the meeting. I just want to make sure they didn't come to anyone else because they didn't respond to my follow up either. So
They didn't follow up with me. If they followed up with Tori, she's out this week, so there's a good chance we didn't see that. Also, sorry, I'm on my phone. I can't see a chat, so I apologize for just dropping in.
no, you're fine. All right. Well, I mean, if they don't want their questions answered, then they won't get them answered. But any more updates for the contact tracking? All right. If not, we can move on to announcements. So if anyone has any announcements, you can go ahead and let me know. Courtney?
Sorry, I'm trying to find the chat function on my phone. My work computer is just not working. I mentioned this last week, but I'm just going to shout it out one more time. There is a Connecting Orgs session tomorrow from 12 to 1 via WebEx, and it's posted in the Student Org Officer page and the Campus Life page if you're interested. It's all about your student organization and the election, and it is hosted by I3B and the Center for Democracy and Civic Life. So if you have any questions or are interested, just privately like message me in WebEx or shoot me an email because I can't see the chat right now.
Rickmon?
So how long does it take for JRs to like fully pass? I really want to know what happened to the one that we agreed on last time.
Mershad is here. I know that he tried to take it to Faculty Senate. If he would like to speak a little bit more on what happened to the JR, if he's, available to, then he's free to.
Sure. We are presenting it to University Steering Committee, which is, I think, give me 1 second, which is either this week or next week. And we're going to have a conversation on the university level. And then it's probably going to get passed, but we'll see how that goes. And the University Steering Committee is this Friday. I can update you guys next meeting on that JR.
Sounds good. Rickmon?
One more thing. I think last passing the JR regarding election day, it wasn't like an official discussion, but we kind of is that still going on or?
So I actually sent out the email to people that expressed in writing that JR with me right now. I think there's 2 of them in finance, but right now, Joshua Gray and Siwi Kayaka. We're going to start working on that soon. We unfortunately have a lot of outlines from other schools that are doing this. So it's just a matter of drafting that legislation and getting passed by the bodies.
If you don't mind, can you forward that email to me?
Sure, no problem. If you'd like to work with us on that, I can add you to that work group.
Of course, thank you.
Just a reminder that the application for Secretary of the Finance Board is due this Friday night at midnight. So if you know anyone who has opened it, started it, tell them to finish it by Friday, or let anyone know that it's still open. So hopefully we can have a secretary by next week. There have been 5 applications submitted. So are there any other announcements? All right, I don't see or hear any more announcements, so we can move on to the final roll call. And I recognize, oh my goodness, okay. I recognize that Acha's here, Aaliyah's here, Joshua's here, Liam's here, Pooja's here, Lana's here, Siri's here, and Victor's here, as well as ex officio members Candace, Courtney, and Rashad. And this meeting has been adjourned at 6:15. Wow, I was about to say percent at 6:15 p.m. And I'm going to stop recording